Hi everyone, thank you for joining for this webinar on using natural products in your pregnancy and whenever your baby is born. Thank you for your support of Restoration 199 as well. My name is Jolia Gorman. I'm excited to be talking with you all today for an introduction to what herbal products are and some ways that you can use them in your life. I do have a presentation, so I'm going to go ahead and get my screen up here so we can get started. Okay, so again, welcome to Herbs and Natural Products for Pregnancy and Infants. This is my name. I'm a licensed graduate social worker here in DC and volunteer with Restoration 199. We begin with a picture of lavender on this page, which is a really beautiful, calming and grounding herb that we'll be talking about a little bit later. First off, what can you expect from this webinar today? We first want to say that we have a beautiful photo of calendula here, which is another calming and soothing herb that we'll be talking about. But what you can expect from this webinar today is to learn why natural products are better than synthetic products during pregnancy and for young children. We'll then identify 3 key areas for herbal use for you and your baby. We'll then learn how to incorporate herbal products into your daily routines so that you can easily use them. We'll address some concerns that you might have around using natural products if you're new to them. We'll learn how to connect to herbal products and clinicians in the area as well. So who am I? Who's this person that's talking to you in this webinar? Like I said, my name is Jolia Stiles Gorman. I use pronouns she, her. I'm a wife, a new mom, a gardener, a creator, and a therapist. So I really enjoy herbal medicine and have my own medicinal herbal garden. I'm a licensed graduate social worker in DC, and I'm a graduate of Wild Ginger Herbal Center's Herbal Apprenticeship Program, where I learned a lot of what I'm going to be talking about today. Now, disclaimer for this is that I am not a clinical herbalist. I have 2 years of experience of growing medical herbs or medicinal herbs, having them in my house, using them in my own daily practices, and using them for my family. But I have not taken clinical education about herbal products. I'm going to be sharing from my personal experience only. So the information that I share in this webinar should not be used in place of seeing a doctor, a pediatrician, or a clinical herbalist. If you're wanting to connect with a clinical herbalist, I will have some recommendations at the end of this webinar. I also want to make an acknowledgement that there is a long history of herbalism in Black and Indigenous communities. I want to acknowledge that white communities, of which I am a part of, have in many ways stolen this knowledge and masqueraded it as our own. I apologize for this. I want to be a part of being better. So in this moment, I want to acknowledge the many, many ways that Black and Indigenous herbalists have taught me all that I know about herbalism. Thank you. I give you credit for your intelligence, your creativity, and your ingenuity. Now, I want to share what I have learned with all of you. The first question is, why should I be using natural products instead of synthetic products? And I see 3 key reasons. The first is the sensitivity of your baby's skin. If you already have your baby, you will have surely noticed how sensitive your baby's skin can be. There are all sorts of little rashes, little bumps that'll come up. And so we want to be using something that's really, really gentle on their skin because, as it says here, our babies have lived in a vacuum for months. They've been completely protected from all the things that are in our air and that are in our environments. Using synthetic products, like bleach and things like that, can cause these rashes and irritations easier than natural products, in my experience. Secondly, there's a strong connection between mom and baby. During pregnancy and the 4th trimester, which if you haven't heard that terminology before, it's the first 3 months of your baby's life outside of the womb. And especially if you are breastfeeding your baby, products that you take in will affect your baby's skin, digestive system, and all sorts of other things that are going on with your baby. So we want to be using natural products for you as well, for a mom, to aid in their digestive successes. And remember, you're holding your baby a lot. The lotions that you're putting on will be transferred to your baby as well. So the more products that you use that are natural and gentle, the better that it'll be for your baby as well. And the third reason is care of the earth. Using natural products reduces the amount of chemical and synthetic products that end up in our landfills, that end up in our earth, in our soil. And so it's really important as well in a sustainability mindset to be using natural products that will not contaminate the earth in that way and make the earth better for your baby when they grow older. Now, there are 3 key areas as well for herbal use in your life. The first one is healing from labor. Herbal stitch baths, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Lotions and teas are game changers, I think, in the processes that you're going to be going through to emotionally and physically heal from labor. I continue to use calming lotions with lavender, lotions for scars and for stretch marks, and herbal tea blends that are specifically focused on mood support and balance in my daily life. These things are really helping me to continue to heal from labor. The second key area for herbal use that I think is important is immunity support. There's a lot going on with the baby. They need a lot. They're completely dependent on us. So you don't want to be sick while you're trying to take care of a baby. That's just a lot. So I've really prioritized my immunity support with my herbs that I take. And so I drink nettles and lemon balm tea. I take zinc and vitamin D supplements and a tablespoon of an herbal concoction called fire cider. That is apple cider vinegar, jalapenos, lemon. That's all been infused together into this really beautiful, spicy, but beautiful herbal supplement that I take every day. And I haven't been sick once since my baby came home 4 months ago. So I really encourage you to prioritize your own immunity support. And finally, holistic self-care. Your mental health is crucial to the successful development of your baby. If you are not at your best or surviving either, if you are really, really feeling it in your emotions, in your mental stability for this baby and what's going on, it's going to affect what's happening with your baby. So taking care of your mental health is really important, especially in the first few months of figuring out how to take care of a baby. Using certain teas, lotions, and tinctures, which I'll talk about in a little bit about what those are, can help you balance your mood, ease anxiety, and restore calm into your life. Caring for your baby's physical health and the myriad of environmental triggers that they experience as they get used to life outside the womb is also very important. So making sure that you're thinking about all the health concerns that you have, thinking about all the health concerns of your baby. Herbal uses can really help in both of those areas. So incorporating herbs into your daily life. Okay, herbs are great. How do I do this? So first off, real quick, the picture that you see on this page is of nettles, the herb stinging nettles, which I'll talk about in a little while. First of all, I just want to give a shout out to God for creating herbs, and medicinal herbs in particular. They are created for beauty. As you see on the pictures, they're beautiful things, and they also have healing properties for ourselves. They sustain us as humans. And so really want to give shout out to God the Creator for creating herbs and letting us have them. They're absolutely beautiful. So ways that we can incorporate herbs into our daily life. First of all is using herbal lotions and body products. Specifically, herbs like calendula and lavender, which I've already talked about as being really calming and soothing herbs, as well as shea butter and comfrey, are products that are herbs that can be a part of lotions and beauty products that can really help your skin. The second is drinking herbal teas. Now, herbal teas are the leaves of herbs that are dried and ground up a little bit, that then you steep into hot water and then you drink it. You can add sugar or a little bit of honey to it to make it taste a little bit better if you like that. But in general, as we're drinking herbal teas, it really helps our internal systems, and that's where the benefits. So some specific ones that I love to drink are nettles, which like I said is the picture that you see here on this slide, lemon balm, peppermint, and holy basil. Nettles and lemon balm are really great for immunity support. Peppermint and holy basil are really energizing and grounding. It helps us as things are kind of all up in the air and maybe a little bit anxiety producing, especially holy basil helps us to come back down to earth and ground ourselves from all the things that are going on. You can also take herbal tinctures or supplements. So tinctures are liquids, usually a type of alcohol that has been steeping in an herb for many months. And so all of the goodness from the herbs are coming into this liquid. And then you take the herbal tincture, which is the liquid that's been keeping all of the good stuff from the herbs for many months, by a dropper, usually 30 drops a day, something like that. And so that's a way that you can take herbs. You can also take it in supplement form, which is usually either a powder or in pill form. So you can take these things as well in your daily life. Some ways that herbal tinctures and supplements can really benefit your life is immunity support, mood support, and anxiety relief. So like I said, I personally take a zinc supplement every day, which is really great for immunity support. And then taking tinctures can also be really helpful. And echinacea tincture is really great for immunity support as well. So these are all great. I love herbs, obviously. I can keep going on and on about them, but there are some concerns that people bring up for using natural products that I want to identify and address here. The first one is, will it harm the baby? That's a great question. Your baby is different. Every single baby is different. So what I would do for using natural products directly on your baby's skin is give it a little try. See how the baby's skin reacts to it and then move forward from that. If you're using a tincture or a supplement or some teas that are really new to you, give it one day and then see, especially if you're breastfeeding, give it one day and see if it's causing some irritation or some gassiness in the baby that you haven't seen before. These products are made from things that are natural, but we all have different tendencies. We all have different abilities to take in products. So you want to be careful with these in general, but they're not going to harm them just because they're natural. How will your body react to using these herbs? Like I said, it's really up to you. Your individual body is different than mine. And so, like I said, give it a test run if you're using something that's totally new. In general, teas and lotions are gentler than tinctures and supplements. The tinctures and the supplements they have a lot more of the herb in them than a tea or a lotion. So keep that in mind as well if you are new to using these products. How do you know the products are made in a healthy manner? This is a great question because especially with herbs, you have people like me who have gone to classes and are using these herbs but aren't regulated by some sort of larger body like the FDA or something like that. So it's up to you on how you feel comfortable. If you're new to herbs, I would encourage you to work with a company or an organization that goes and tells you about the way their products are made, like Restoration 199 or other companies. I would say Mountain Rose Herbs is a really great place to check out as well. These products are made in ways that are just as healthy as synthetic products. So keep in mind on who you're getting from if you want to make sure your products are made in a healthy manner. Can new moms use the products while breastfeeding? This is a really great question. This is something that you would need to contact a clinical herbalist or your OB or your pediatrician to check. That's why every single herbal product that you see that is bought from a company is going to say, if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, contact your provider, because some of these herbs are, not the herbs that are in this presentation, but some herbs are not indicated for use while you are breastfeeding. So the products that we talk about in Restoration 199 and all the herbs that I've talked about in this presentation can be used while breastfeeding. If you're doing something different, you need to check with your OB, pediatrician, or clinical herbalist. Will they be as effective as synthetic products? Yes. Yes, and without a lot of the side effects of using a synthetic product. That's my opinion, though. So where to find them, especially how to find herbal products that you can trust. Restoration 199 has an herbal line called Eden that I think is a great place to start into support. There are two specific herbal products that I think are really helpful for new moms or for new babies. The first is Restoration 199's Baby Balm. This is made with pine infused oil, and it can be used for psoriasis, eczema, scars, stretch marks, and diaper rash. So something that you can use on your body as well as on your baby's body. Now, why is pine helpful for my skin? The sulfur in pine needles is what makes it really helpful. It's a gentle and effective skin cleanser. Pine is also a great antioxidant that fights off infections that can lead to the rashes and the irritations that we see specifically on your baby. It's also helpful in reducing inflammation and redness, which if your baby's anything like mine, the rashes that I've seen are really red and really inflamed. So pine can be really helpful in reducing that. And Eden's line actually uses pine essential oil, which is handmade by the Eden line, and it increases the longevity of the healing properties of the pine by 6 months. And the second product is the herbal bath tea for postpartum healing. It's made with calendula, chamomile, rose petals, lavender, lemon balm, and comfrey. Now the herbs here are really calm, healing herbs. Calendula, chamomile, and rose petals specifically contain powerful calming properties. Lavender contains antimicrobial and collagen-stimulating properties that help aid in healing wounds. Lemon balm and comfrey are well known for wound care in the herbal world. And so how you use this is all of these herbs are specifically put together for your healing after you give birth. So you want to use them in what's called a sitz bath. This is a bath that is a shallow bath. It's not super, super big because you don't want to do big baths right after you have given birth. So right after you've given birth, you're going to be wanting to use the sitz bath, which is filling your bath with warm, not hot, but warm water, just a couple of inches. And you take your bath tea and you let it steep in your bath for at least 5 to 10 minutes. Really let all the herbs come together in the water, and then you get in and make sure that your vagina and all the places that are a part of your birth are touched by water, and just let it sit. And it'll feel so good, I promise. And another thing that feels really good is that every purchase that you make for the Eden line supports Restoration 199's economic empowerment program for survivors of sexual trauma, which feels real good. So a couple other ways to connect with herbal practitioners and products in the area. First off is, how do you get the Eden products? You can purchase them in person at Freedom Society Tea Room in Fredericksburg. You can also order them online at the link in this presentation. I talked a lot about the importance of talking with a clinical herbalist or practitioner, specifically if you have things that are going on that you want specific advice about, or just getting some specific knowledge about what's going on in your body. These people are great to contact. So some local practitioners are the Wild Ginger Herbal Center, Little Red Bird Botanicals, U360 Holistic Health and Wellness, and Catherine Adams. All of them have their contact information here on this slide. And as I said earlier, there has been a lot of ways that herbal education has been co-opted by white practitioners. And so I wanted to specifically shout out a couple of women that I look to that are practitioners of color, and you can follow them on Instagram. There's Corey Atchie at Mama Law Resources, Elena Mary Cruz, Wild Ginger Herbal Center, and Said Musa. And then I wanted as well to put on this slide Aviva Ram. She's a white practitioner, but she's very thoughtful about how she puts out her information, and she specifically is very thoughtful about pregnancy and postpartum healing. So check her out too. So thank you again for being a part of this presentation and taking a look at all these beautiful herbs, which the herb on this slide is comfrey, a gorgeous, gorgeous healing herb. If you have any questions, you can feel free to contact me at my email address, which is on this slide. Again, though, if you have specific questions about an herb or condition, I would contact a local practitioner. Thank you again for being a part of this presentation, and I hope that it was helpful for you to continue on your journey as a parent and as a budding medicinal herbalist. Thank you so much for your support, and enjoy the rest of your day.